Unit 6, Section 4, the last example. This example has us use what we know about coordinate geometry to prove some certain properties regarding the geometric mean and how to construct that altitude line. So I'm first going to start by drawing triangle DEF. So D is at over 1 up 2. And I like to label my points just so I remember what they are. E is 7, 4 over 7 up 4. And F is over 3 up 6. So there's my triangle. Find the midpoint M of DE. Oops, I forgot to write. This is E. So I want the midpoint of that side. So when I think midpoint, I think I want to find halfway in between the X and halfway in between the Y, and that will be my midpoint. So I'd say my X's are 1 and 7, so I'm going to do 1 plus 7 divided by 2, and halfway between the Y's, so 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So I'm going to get 8 over 2, which is 4, and 6 over 2, which is 3. And so that is M. Over 4 up 3. If you draw your point big enough, it's on the line. Looks about right. So this is M, which is 4, 3. Verify that DEF is in fact a right triangle. There's two different ways we could do this. If you really like using the distance formula, you could use the distance formula to prove that Pythagorean theorem works. So if you find the distance between, so you do DF squared plus FE squared should equal DE squared, and you can use the distance formula in that way. I really like finding slope, so I think I'm going to do that, and I want to prove that that angle F is a right angle. And so how I'm going to do that is show that if DF and EF are perpendicular, so they have opposite reciprocal slopes, then that's a right angle, and so therefore it's a right triangle. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do M, the slope of FE. So that's rise over run, so change in Y over change in X. So let's see, I'm doing FE, so I do 6 minus 4, and be consistent. So I'm going to do 3 minus 7. That gives me 2 over negative 4, which equals negative 1/2. So I hope the slope of the other one is positive 2. We'll see. Just looking at it, it looks like it is. But I will solve it out just to make sure. Change in Y over change in X. 4 over 2, which is 2. So, since opposite reciprocal, I can say that FE is perpendicular to DF, which means that there's a right angle right there, so I know it's a right triangle. Now it asks us to verify that FM, so this is in fact an altitude, so that is a right angle. So I need to show that, and I do a very similar thing. I say, well, what's the slope of FM? So I look at F, and then I do rise over run, so change in Y, 6 minus 3, change in X, 3 minus 4, so I get 3 over negative 1, negative 3, and then the slope of DE, change in Y, 4 minus 2 over change in X, 7 minus 1, 2 over 6, which is 1 over 3. Therefore, FM is perpendicular to DE. Last thing is to verify the geometric mean, that FM over DM, so that's saying FM over DM is equal to ME over DM. So I'm going to use the distance formula here, and I have to figure out to make sure that that proportion works. So I'm going to use the distance formula to find the distance between F and M. First, that red piece. So here I do x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. So I get, so let's see, F and M. I'm going to start with my x's, and I'll do top to bottom. So 3 minus 4 squared, 6 minus 3 squared. That equals the square root of 3 minus 4 is negative 1, squared is just 1, 6 minus 3 is 3, squared is 9. So therefore this all equals square root of 10. Okay, now I need to find those blue and green lines. So the distance from D to M, subtract my x's, so I'm going to do 4 minus 1 squared plus 3 minus 2 squared. I'll do it below here again. 4 minus 1 is 3, squared is 9. 3 minus 2 is 1, squared is 1. Therefore that is square root of 10 as well. Now last thing is the green line. So D of M E (7 minus 4) squared plus 4 minus 3 squared equals, let's see, 7 minus 4 is 3, squared is 9, and then 4 minus 3 is 1, squared is 1. So I get square root of 10 again. Therefore, let's see if I can give myself a little more space here. That means that the distance of FM, the length, is square root of 10 over dm square root of 10, and that is equal to square root of 10 over square root of 10. And those all just equal 1. So, therefore, it does work. FM over dm does equal me over FM. So we know that those are similar triangles. That is the last video of this unit. Good luck on your homework.